Hello. Welcome to the very first live Sanibel Captiva podcast. And I'm delighted to say we've got Toni Westland, Supervisory Refuge Ranger at the J.N. Ding Darling Refuge. National Wildlife Refuge. Let's get it right.
That was a mouthful.
And just as you might know, we did a podcast a while back with Toni, and it's great to have her back on. So thanks for joining us. This is the first live, but we are encouraging questions. If you've got any questions for Toni or anybody in particular, just put them in the description. And Max is back there working the board, so if you've got a question,
if you have a question for Max,
a question for Max.
Well, I'll ask the questions and I'll relay them to you.
Okay, perfect. So, Toni, tell us a little bit. I know we've got some new events coming up. Tell us a little bit about. First of all, I guess we all presume that everybody knows about the J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge, but they might not. So just give us a little brief summary of what goes on there.
First of all, I'm excited. This is the first live one, and I'm here for it.
Yes.
Exactly.
What an occasion, right?
Yes. And you had a great personality. Right?
Exactly.
That's why we did it.
Anyway, I feel like everyone in the world knows about the J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge. The name is long, and we'll get it together.
Yeah.
But with nearly 1 million visitors, we do get people from all over the world. Now, due to what's going on in the world now, that's been limited because we usually have a lot of Europeans coming.
Right.
But, we welcome everyone.
Absolutely.
So it's exciting. There has been people that have, getting out into nature since all of what's going on in the world right now. It's very important that we're getting out. We'll talk more about that later, about mindfulness and how nature does help us physically.
I agree.
And I think we're finding out more and more, especially with what's going on in the world right now. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
So the J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Preserve is actually refuge. It's a driveway that is about
4 miles or
4
5?
miles
4 miles long. Goes through the back bay and you get to experience the wildlife,
right?
And
you can
shorebirds. And
drive your car. You can bike,
kayak, stand-up paddleboard, walk.
Yeah, there's people that walk the 4 miles.
But it's nice because it is accessible. One thing that was brought out during this, we had a world-renowned traveler that is disabled, and he's wheelchair bound, and he came and visited and did a really good thing about that. We are so accessible to everyone.
That's wonderful.
We debuted a colorblind scope.
I saw that. That's
cool. 41,000 people that come to the refuge based on our 1 million population have some sort of color deficiency. Things you don't think about when you maybe don't have that accessibility issue.
Right.
And so it was exciting. It was in the pouring rain. We debuted this colorblind scope, but it's up on the tower. And now people are able to see spoonbills in the color that we had a small child from Tampa come. And the great company that, I purchased the lens that's in the scope, but it was the best thing because when we did the debut, he gave free glasses to 3 visitors that we brought in. And they got to use them for the first time.
No way.
And a small child, 10-year-old, he got outdoor glasses and indoor glasses.
No way.
And so it's just a fun thing. And we will have them for loan. So people that come, just like we loan out binoculars, once we get back fully open, we'll have these glasses to debut too that they can loan out for free with just a credit card to hold. And then they can experience it too. So things have come out from COVID, positive things.
Right.
We're trying to always look for the silver lining.
Yeah.
Things like getting out into nature, being mindful and disconnecting and getting more physically fit, but spending time with your family and spending it in nature. And then things like how accessible we are. But listen, we are people's tax dollars at work. Everyone pays taxes. And we are your tax dollars. So we hope people come out. It's a small cost to come, $10 for your vehicle.
Right.
It's good for the day. Keep your receipt. Some people exercise through the refuge. Some fish. Some just drive through. But there are plenty of people that make the refuge their priority once a week or on holidays. So those are kind of the fun things. Multi-generations. After almost 20 years at the refuge, I'm seeing so many multi-generations where now, grandparents are bringing their grandkids, and it's just fun to see people from all over the world that keep coming back because, once you get sunburned on the island, you need something else to do.
Exactly.
And if you're anything like us, actually, we actually have a family membership, which is definitely worth doing. Toni keeps saying go back, and it's often quite a good time. I mean, we're dealing with nature here, so it doesn't always necessarily follow that you're going to see exactly what you thought you might. And it literally can be the change of a tide, the change of the direction of the wind,
change of the temperature.
And you could come back 2 hours later and it's a completely different story. So don't be despondent if you go through and you don't see anything. It'd be very unusual if you don't see anything. But if you don't see what you're looking for, rather than that, check with Toni or some of the volunteers on the trail and say, when's the best time to come? Because it could be tomorrow morning is perfect. The sun's the right way, the wind's the right way. The birds will take off into the wind. Which way's the wind going? What time's the sunrise? Yeah. It's all these things that, with local knowledge, that will give you a bad chance.
I'm so glad you said about the tides, because people will think the tides at the lighthouse or on Captiva are the same right next to the wildlife drive, and that's just not true.
Right.
So if you call our main number, and anybody can Google it, right? Call the main number and you hit 2. We always have the low tide schedule.
Okay.
So about 2 weeks out. So you can call if you're coming a month out and you're already planning your visit. Mm-hmm. But it's nice that you can call 24 hours a day. Hey, we're going to go to Ding Darling tomorrow. What's the tide doing? You can call our number and hit 2.
And which tide?
Has been forever.
Which tide should they look for?
You're looking for a low tide, and ironically, we use the Cape Coral Bridge, Caloosahatchee River, which is so far away.
Right.
But by the time the water gets all the way through the mangroves to the road, that is the most accurate for us.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I know, it's a lot of science.
It is, but that is good to know. So if you want to look it up on a chart, you follow the Cape Coral Bridge, Caloosahatchee. Okay, perfect.
Or just call the number. Which is the number for those that are late? Those that are listening.
239-472-1100.
Okay,
Excellent.
cool.
And number 2.
Okay.
Number 2.
And what could people expect to see at the refuge?
Yeah, so we, here in South Florida, the seasons change, right? But it's not seasons it's starting to feel a little bit like fall.
I know, we're so excited.
But we talk about how we have seasons of wildlife.
Gotcha.
I mean, you're not going to see the leaves falling and changing in snow. You're going to have different animals. So right now, manatees are mating. We just finished that. We have babies that are being born. I just posted a video on Facebook of 2 babies right off the wildlife drive. Talk about seeing things that are amazing. You have to be at the right place at the right time.
Right.
For the most part, they hung out all day. So if you can find someone, or we try to put things on social media quickly.
Yeah.
But so right now it's manatees and dolphins. As soon as the white pelicans fly back from the north, our biggest bird, they're migrating from the north. That will be winter for us.
We were down at
Chakaluski.
Yes,
Chakaluski. There you go.
And there's one of the state parks down there.
Yes.
And we've got these goober pictures of me and Laurie standing against the
wingspan.
thing.
Pelican.
And we actually learned. What's that?
What, were you a certain bird?
I was an osprey, about an osprey, a little bit bigger than an osprey.
Yeah, 6 feet.
And then the white pelican, biggest wingspan on the planet. I didn't know that.
Feet.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
They're a big bird.
Yeah.
We were able to work with Crow and release some back, and I've had to put my arms around. You can't even get your arm around, and then you're trying to hold on to this bill. And obviously, they just want to get back into nature. So here I am trying to not fall down the rocks. They're big.
But you wouldn't notice that, would you? Because it looks proportional. Like if you see them all sitting together and then you see a brown pelican sitting together, they look pretty much the same size, but they're actually a lot bigger. Yeah. No.
I think the white ones look a lot bigger.
Can I just tell him no?
Yes, you can. I tell him no all the time.
The brown pelicans are about a third of the size.
Are they really?
So,
they're
big.
Much smaller.
I guess photographing them. I photographed them, so, I don't
Cool.
I got the hand. You see that, Max? I got the hand. Whatever. I'm wrong again.
The other one that everybody goes crazy about is the spoonbill. Because,
of course.
I never get sick of seeing them.
No.
We call it a spark bird when some child, usually a child, it could be an adult though, sees and can identify a bird for the first time, like on their own, and they're just like, and you just see it happen, and they can identify it because they've seen it before. You've taught them. It's like this really cool feeling an educator gets, a ranger gets. Right. But spoonbills, you never get sick of seeing them. And I must tell you, and I say this over and over, spoonbills are found here all year round.
Right.
All the questions I get. If I could just collect $1 from where's the alligators and when are the spoonbills coming back? The spoonbills are here all year round, but the adults leave to reproduce. Not here. They don't breed here. So the adults will leave. So the population gets smaller.
Gotcha.
But the juveniles stay here. And they're the lighter pink ones.
Right.
And they're here all year. But they do decrease in population in the summer. And so people think they're not here.
Gotcha.
But
where did they go to breed?
So the Tampa area and then down in the Flamingo area. So there are certain areas, but they don't breed here.
Really?
I wish they did, but they don't.
How bizarre.
We get lots of other ones that, breed. We watch osprey. We watch tricolored herons and hingas right from the web, the Wildlife Education Boardwalk that's connected to the Sanibel School. We watch at least 5 different species lay nest, lay eggs, breed, everything. Mm-hmm. And that's an amazing thing. Talk about seasons of wildlife. That happens in March, April, May. We get to watch these babies being born. Sometimes it's close from me to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The little school kids are coming over because we're like, don't miss this.
Right.
But the visitors and photographers know we get certain species that nest right there. So that's been a great addition where you can see this miracle happen.
Right.
And you looked over at Max when you said that, and there was actually, Max went to school on Sanibel, and there is a back gate.
Right.
Tell us your side of it, Max.
Toni came in and introduced herself, and I was like, I know. Because every summer camp, every year, Toni would be taking us on trips around Ding Darling. 3 or 4 times a year.
I feel old.
Right.
For my entire childhood.
Right.
But
but there is this
unusual
cool
thing. There's a gate.
It's like a secret gate, isn't it? I feel like it's a secret gate to the school. But
so it was a promise a couple managers ago, and now a principal ago. But to connect the school, we have a parking lot actually on school property. Our upper lot is on the school's property.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it is a lease in which we promised. And luckily, we were able to deliver because of the Ding Darling Wildlife Society and Bergie Miller. We were able to build this really cool boardwalk that leads to a tower, and now it's connected to the school.
Right.
So the school kids can access it that way through 2 secret fences.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes.
Wow.
The second one.
Privacy
fence.
Yeah. But then it's nice because visitors, when we're closed on Friday, so the Wildlife Drive is closed on Friday.
Everybody needs to remember.
For like 25 years.
Yes. Got to give the wildlife a break.
Yes,
right?
Thank you. Because with 1 million visitors, it does impact the wildlife. We are a science-based organization. It's wildlife first. But we love our 2-leggeds like us, right? Yep. that come and view the wildlife. But we have to make science-based decisions and then allow people to come. We realize if people don't experience nature, they don't vote for nature.
Right.
They don't become stewards of the land. They don't know, you guys get it.
Yeah, totally. And just backing up a little bit, I think we put in the post that Bergie was going to be here today. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it. But hello, Bergie, next time.
We missed you.
Thank you, Ding Darling Wildlife Society.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, just to put in the relationship, Bergie, well, you explain it. Bergie is go ahead.
Yeah. So I am your tax dollars at work. Like I mentioned, I'm part of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. I'm a federal park ranger. I'm a refuge ranger. So we've got the government entity, which is the land, the federal lands, and then a nonprofit, the Ding Darling Wildlife Society, that raises money when our federal budgets fall short,
right?
Which happens. And we're able to do fun, creative things. America's Best Restroom and the web that connects to the school.
Yeah.
Over and over. There's so many examples. The whole visitor center was built from donations, and the keys were handed to the Fish and Wildlife Service. That was back in 1999.
Oh, wow.
That building was built.
Wow.
And so people are amazed. There's this huge, grand visitor center.
Right.
It wasn't even government money.
Right.
Now, we maintain it, but it was the first of a kind. We're a friends group, and they're celebrating 40 years this year.
Wow,
we'll talk
that's
about
amazing.
some really cool things going on.
Cool.
40 years of people caring, businesses caring, because just the whole Ding family of the islands, and so that has been great. But they handed over the keys, and now it's happened a few more times in Fish and Wildlife Service. But they continue to be one of the strongest friends groups in the nation.
Right.
We are looked at as how can we do this again?
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
besides the friends group, then we have the business part, the concessionaire Tarpon Bay Explorers.
Right.
Yeah,
So we have
Wendy.
the government, the nonprofit, and the business. Yes.
Gotcha.
Wendy is a great asset to us. With only now 1.5, rangers, we can't get out and do all these cool. We wish we could do all these special tours. But Wendy's team of trained biologists, you can get out on the water. You
Tarpon
can
Bay
paddle.
Explorers, we like to give them a
Amazing.
shout out. And
Yeah.
they're at the end of Tarpon Bay Road, and I run all the tours and concessions through the park.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely check them out. And Wendy's actually going to be it's going to be on the podcast in a couple of weeks. So
Yeah,
check
good.
out,
a little more about
check
it.
out for that.
She's great.
So-
That's awesome. So you mentioned the visitor center.
Yes.
How is it open now? Tell us the situation
Oh my
with that.
goodness. So we have been open, all of the lands, since all of this has happened. But the visitor center and buildings did close down in March of 2020. I have to get
I
my
know.
years
Yes,
right.
I know.
But in November of that year, we were able to open up in a very small capacity. We were finding people are coming.
Yeah.
Like, people are getting out into nature. They're driving backwards. They don't know where to go. They're don't have a restroom. What do you think is going to happen then?
Right.
Like, I'm looking at we have issues. We need people to come out and enjoy, but we need them to do it safely.
Right.
So I wrote a plan, and everything gets passed through headquarters
Gotcha.
to open the visitor center in a capacity with plexiglass and masks and wiping and no exhibits because they were they're all touchable.
right.
But people needed an avenue to come in, get a map. Let's help plan their visit.
Yeah.
They would still go into the nature store, which has been super nice because that supports the refuge. It's all through the friends
and
group.
it's a great. They're so cool. Even if you're not going to go through the
Awesome
refuge,
gifts.
right? Super cool
They're
gifts.
getting in new products every day. Another thing that happened during COVID is not only did we have that store, we've now opened a second store
That's right.
Oh,
over
that's
here
cool. Yeah, that's
next
by
to the bean, right?
Yes.
Next to
down
the bean and the fly fishing shop.
$22.50 periwinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And they have an online store, shopdingdarling.com. You forget a
Right.
souvenir, you want to get something else. So now we've
Bring it
gone
up.
from one store to 3 stores.
that's awesome.
Good
That's
things.
awesome.
So there is some positive things with
Yeah.
COVID.
So there's definitely
Which
some
is
positive
actually
things.
how we started this podcast. And
Yeah.
this whole thing is through
Yes.
COVID.
Because of COVID, yeah.
Yeah, we were sitting at home and
Desperate to speak to people outside of our
Right.
little group.
We're like, we need to talk to more people besides each other. And Max isn't here.
and there's so many cool and interesting people on
Yeah.
Sanibel and Captiva, isn't there?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on and on. Well, speaking of that, how in the world did you end up here?
So I'm originally from Wisconsin.
Right.
With the name Toni. First of all, even this morning it happened. Someone's like, I write an email and they're like, "Oh, thank you, sir." They think I'm a man.
Hey, we have a
How-
photographer named Robin. We know all about that
So
problem.
does
Right.
this happen? Yes, I feel the pain of Robin. So with the name Toni, my dad's all Italian and he needed a Toni in the family. And I was
Gotcha.
his third shot at a boy. And he got a third
Oh,
girl.
Right.
And so I got Toni. And my mother
T-O-N-I.
said, it is just going to be T-O-N-I. We're not doing Antonia or Antoinette. Thank goodness. But I became the boy of the family, hunting and fishing. I followed my dad around. I enjoyed all of this stuff, making mud pies. I don't even know what else I was doing, but mostly getting out into nature.
Yeah.
And I knew, and my dad has always said, he's still alive. My dad has always said, you better enjoy what you do. You're going to work for 3/4 of your life. If you get up every morning and don't want to go to work, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
And he is exactly right. It was some of the best advice I've ever gotten. And so I chose a career path of being outdoors.
Right.
And, there's office, especially if you go up, you've got office work and
Yeah.
emails and
All that stuff.
but for the most part, I schedule myself to do this. Tomorrow I'm going out with Tanglewood Elementary.
Very
They're
cool.
coming to the
Another
refuge.
school our kids went to.
Yes,
yeah, that's
that's
awesome.
awesome.
So my girls went Tanglewood.
So were you a ranger in Wisconsin or did you?
So I went to school there. University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point is their well-known state school. Everybody knows Madison,
Right.
the Badgers. But above it is Stevens Point, and that is the environmental school. So I got a
Gotcha.
degree there. I left as a ranger with the Corps of Engineers. So I was
Right.
actually a Corps ranger on the Mississippi River.
So does that mean you're military?
No, we're civilians.
Civilian,
But it is
okay.
Army. It's Department of Defense.
Okay.
But there's tons of rangers with the Corps of Engineers, with campgrounds, reservoirs. They're always built, around water. I was working on the river giving lock and dam tours.
Wow.
I gave damn good tours on the Mississippi River. Because we move cargo up and down the river. Like, that's how a lot of our goods got places.
Right.
Is up and down the river. So it's just interesting. And there were eagles there. You've always got the wildlife aspect.
Sure.
So I started as a ranger with the Corps. Luckily, switched over to Fish and Wildlife Service very quickly. But this is the only place I've been as here.
So did you
almost
see
20
an
years.
advertisement for the job, and then or did you know somebody
I
here?
vacationed down on the island through a friend.
Okay.
That's usually how, know,
Yes.
and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to work there, I could do that. They need me.
Right.
I literally walked up to my current the project leader right now, Kevin Godsey, he was in this role, and I literally walked up to him and said, at an event at Manatee Park, I was a ranger with the Corps, he was a ranger at Ding, and I said, I want to work for you. I will work there. And he was just like taken back. I was like, no, really, I need to be there. Luckily, they were looking for an educator, and my degree is environmental education, natural resource management, and so it just worked out. You got to speak up for things.
There you go.
Yeah, because look at anybody.
Lot
You
to
could
be
end
said
up on
for that.
Sanibel.
Yes.
The British are the worst for that. They think that everybody should see how great they are, but they don't speak up. So I think
Right. Oh my gosh.
good advice for anybody.
That's awesome. So let's go back to, I know you have a list of events coming up.
Yes.
You guys always have stuff going on. So just give us a rundown
when
of what's
things
happening.
are shut down, we are moving full steam ahead. That's what's great about, the awesome Friends group and letting us be really creative. So if we take a step back, we won America's Best Restroom in 2018. It's something
and
to
what
be said.
wonderful restrooms they are.
You have not peed until you've peed at
And I'll tell you, I was covering that event. I was a photographer, and there's nothing more awkward walking into a bathroom with a camera and actually trying to take pictures while I'm waiting for somebody to vacate.
We give tours of the restroom too sometimes. Yeah, it gets a little crazy.
So that's at the visitor center.
Yes.
You can go tour the
Free,
restroom.
open every day.
Yep.
The cleanest places, and you will learn something.
Absolutely.
So we've joked about how you've got like 60 seconds of a captive audience where you can teach them something. Their experience can begin inside the restroom.
Right.
And so every
Which
stall
one?
is a different bird. Oh my goodness. And so it was a whole social media campaign that we won back in 2018.
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
Yeah,
really
super
cool.
cool.
fun things we can
Right.
do. Even
And then
government workers are fun,
Even there's murals, big murals going down the wall to the restroom.
36-foot mural. There's the an alligator swimming above you. Yeah, there's all sorts of cool things. You've got to start with the restroom.
Okay,
Restroom
very good.
first.
There you go.
Head out on the trails.
Tip from the top.
Yes. Now, as for the visitor center, the exhibits are closed still.
Gotcha.
We're hoping in the next few months, all of this has to get passed.
Right. And this today is October 20th, 2021 for anybody that's watching this in the future. So hopefully,
they'll just know it's open at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully very soon. But for the most part, the exciting stuff isn't in the restroom, and it isn't in the visitor center.
Right. It's just
out on the trails.
just go around it. It's just so cool.
Yeah.
Really is.
And Fridays is closed, but you do have other things you can do on a Friday.
The Indigo Trail is free. It leaves from the visitor center. You can hike out. That's where the web is, where we have nesting birds. And there's a resident alligator. Yesterday, all the Tanglewood kids are on the boardwalk. And gosh, right below them was this 8-foot gator. You should have seen these kids. I'm like, it's okay.
I remember that.
So the Indigo Trail, as you come in, it's on your left-hand side, and it's the only part you can't go down there.
2 miles.
2
but
miles.
You see most of what you're going to see in the first mile.
Right.
It starts to get closed in. We maintain that first mile.
Gotcha.
Most people will go a mile.
Right.
And there's no cars down there, so it's just open to
You can't drive to bike. And then obviously the kids' favorite is the poop tour.
Yes, our scat trail. I was potty training.
Vivid memories of that. Yep.
I was potty training my second, Audrina. She's now a 7th grader. And we were opening, and everyone's like, Toni, what are you going to do? What signage should we put? Because, that's my job. And I was like, well, what do we only see? We see poop. We see scat along the way. And scat is an indicator of the health of the ecosystem, the health of the animals. What are they eating? First of all, what is there? You can tell a lot. Which animal pooped, right? Everybody poops. Right. And so who pooped? And then what do they eat? And are they healthy? And so even when you don't see the animals, you see signs of animals, and teaching kids about camouflage and observing. And so it's really fun. It got into the point where we were making poop out of like candy bars. Like we did this whole, then the kids could eat the poop. We have a scat video. We have a quick video about the poop and about the trail.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. And then it went into the restrooms. Like we've kind of been on this theme for a couple
years. Let's switch it up right now.
So I remember. It takes to get people excited about nature.
Exactly.
To get them observing, getting
Nothing's
out,
off limits.
laughing.
Right, exactly.
Right, exactly. All right, so carrying on.
Okay.
I know you got a lot going on.
Yeah, so even during all of this, there's programs going on. And there's programs going on even just Saturday. So we have continually had programs, tours, not only with Tarpon Bay Explorers, but free tours. You sign up on Eventbrite.
Right.
So go Eventbrite, search Ding Darling.
Right.
Our tours have been going on the whole time during the pandemic. They will continue. And it's actually really nice. We've been keeping them to 10 people. That was per, obviously, guidelines.
Yeah.
But it's been great, especially the mindfulness. So this was something new. Talk about young people that just graduate, we bring them back. Jess, one of our current, she was an intern of mine, and now she's a part-time worker with the Friends group. Jess Berry, she is from Fort Myers. She's a twin, and her sister worked at Crow. So they've been coming to Ding Darling. Her grandmother would bring her here her whole life. And then she saw me at Heights Elementary. I taught her at Heights.
Oh, man.
She walks back in after graduating and was just like, need an internship. And I was like, oh, this is great. Yes, you know about us. You've seen me at Heights, And I was like, what's your degree? And it was psychology. And I was thinking, what are we going to do? The psychology? Well, it was perfect. She was teaching me about mindfulness and the importance of nature and being out and being present, which a lot of us aren't present.
Oh, we're all guilty of that. Yeah.
We're multitasking. We're doing all these things. We're doing way too many things. And her degree with psychology, she brought that back. She developed mindfulness walks, and they're available. They happen Saturday. The next 2 Saturdays, you can sign up. It's
and
at
that's
the Bailey
Eventbrite.
Tract. It's at the Eventbrite at the Bailey Tract,
Gotcha. Right.
which is a very peaceful place. If you've not been to the Bailey Tract, it doesn't even feel like the rest of the Wildlife Drive. It's off of Tarpon Bay Road, down from Doc Ford's, down from Bailey's General Store. It's the Bailey Tract, 100 acres of fresh water. That's where you can see lots of gators. But it's quiet. And so she takes you out there and leads you through your 5 senses, and you're quiet and you're present. Some people take their shoes off. Got to be careful for fire ants.
Yeah.
But it's about immersing yourself into it, and you've got to give a little. You got to be a little vulnerable.
Right.
A lot of us haven't taken time for ourselves, much less to be quiet.
There's a little bit of vulnerability built in as far as the gators around you as you go through it.
Everyone is safe. The gators stay in the water.
Right.
But it's the point that you're disconnecting, and a lot of us are uncomfortable with that. Because we're constantly going and talking and communicating and on our phones.
No, that's awesome.
So you need to experience it. But we are going to be doing a whole wellness week in February, and yoga and all these things and mindfulness. And we have a speaker coming, a book on ornithotherapy, which is learning about birds and how that affects us. It's going to be great. Also lectures that'll be available so people can see them all over, not just have to be present to do it.
Right.
But we are debuting a mindfulness trail there.
Oh, very cool.
5 stations that you can go through on your own, because Jess isn't always around and we're teaching more people. But you can go through and have your mindful experience. You can flip it open. There will be QR codes. So Jess will lead you through the experience.
Oh, very neat.
I'll tell you what, Jess has left a mark, and she was an intern. So cheers to Jess.
Cheers to Jess. And she's still here with the Friends group. Maybe
she is?
she'll
Okay.
help us with that week.
Awesome.
But it just shows you you need young, creative
Yeah,
minds.
exactly.
You got to turn this over to young people.
Yeah.
No.
We took one of the walks with Rachel Pierce, didn't we?
Yes,
Oh,
we did.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was really cool.
That's a great thing. Incorporating art. Rachel's been so good to us. She continues to work with us. She's our second artist in residence. And that's really important with this whole idea that Ding Darling was an artist and letting people be creative outdoors. Yeah. A lot of us, that's been dropped in schools. And anyway, ding and art, we love all that stuff. We love nature.
Goes hand in hand.
Perfect. Yeah, Ding Darling, for those that don't know, it's a cartoonist.
Oh my goodness. So during this pandemic, we developed Wildlife on Wheels, a 36-foot mobile classroom and visitor center that went out to the schools, and it's out in the schools again. It is the only field trip Lee County schools allowed. We literally rolled up to the school, promised we were going to be safe.
Brought everybody outside.
My whole reputation was on the line. Wearing N95 masks in groups of 6, the little kids walked out of the schools into an experience, because how can you be in your classroom for a whole year and not get outside, right? Because that's what was happening.
Seriously. Right.
And we know with mental illness and, just all these challenges we were having, it was the best outlet. So we got to over 5,600 kids from 8 different schools got to experience the WOW, and that is still happening. This is all Ding Darling Wildlife Society. It's a $500,000 project. We have volunteers running it. We have interns that are amazing that are also bilingual, helping us reach out into these underserved areas that have never been a lot of times out to the island. So we're bringing Sanibel Island to the schools, to the community. Whole new thing. It's an urban initiative that Fish and Wildlife Service is guiding us with, which has been good. They've given us some funding for pull-out exhibits, but my time, and I've hired an urban ranger we'll be announcing very shortly.
Wow.
Who's bilingual, a 4-year position that she's going to help us get out into the community. So Fish and Wildlife Service is devoted to taking this island off island to teach people about nature in their backyards. And then also in many cases, the streams that are running through their communities that they're fishing from are not clean. Right. So maybe there's restorations involved. We're starting this whole thing. At the schools, growing gardens so they can learn how to grow food, just butterfly gardens and sprucing things up. But we've adopted the Tice community. So that's way out 75. Yeah. Tice, what a great community, and Tice Elementary. And so there are wonderful community that we're reaching out to and starting there. We're doing turkeys for Tice coming up, and there's lots of really good things where, nature and even humanitarian work, like this is what we need to be doing. Right. So we can teach people about the importance of where they're living. We know we've got these beautiful islands here, and we share them with people all over the world. But there's people even in our community
30 miles away
never been to the beach.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I think it's great. It really is great.
Yeah, so that's all going on. But even besides that, the Friends group. Oh, I got to tell you, this Friday, we're debuting. No one even knows this. Drum roll.
Whoa!
Oh, okay. We are installing a new entrance sign out at Ding Darling. It sounds like a sign, but this is exciting to someone like me.
Yeah,
I had to design it and get it approved. That in itself is
that's huge.
Do you have a picture of it?
No, because you got to come out and see it. But I'm going to make a time-lapse video.
There you go.
One going down and one going up.
But it's very cool, and there is something beginning with an S in it, but don't mention what it is.
Oh yes, maybe an iconic bird.
Or something. Oh no. Don't mention it.
Cool. So the face of Ding Darling will look different coming Friday. So that's so exciting.
That is exciting.
But even on, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. But I don't know. We're debuting a new beer.
Oh, this one.
This is what Nick was interested in. This one.
Whoa, we're waiting for this news.
Yeah. Oh, Max is like, beer.
So tell us all about the beer.
We engage with the younger audiences. You need to know what drives them. Know your audience.
Exactly.
Ding Darling Wildlife Society is celebrating 40 years. Bergie Miller, she's amazing. Her whole crew's amazing. We've gotten a Miami artist to design. It's called Wild Days. It's an IPA.
Which is DAZE, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is Fort Myers Brewing Company. So we're so excited. On December 4th, we're debuting it. The WOW will be there. You can experience. Ranger Toni will be there with all of my stuff. And then quickly getting out of uniform so I can try Wild Days. Did I say that? On my own time. But no, honestly.
After work, we have to.
Clarify.
Uniform.
Yeah.
No, but it's such a great thing because you do want to engage people of all different audiences. We know people are going to breweries and enjoy that and have an experience, and families go there.
Yes.
And so why not, for the 40th anniversary of the Ding Darling Wildlife Society, have a cool beer?
I think it's going to be so popular it'll probably carry on after the
Yes.
4th.
Yeah.
And then after Fort Myers Brewing Company, it's going to be on the island through Richard Johnson and Bailey's.
So you can pick it up at Bailey's.
For 2 weekends, the 8th, the 9th, the 19th, 20th, that weekend.
Gotcha.
So you'll be able to come taste test it.
We'll put that information on the website. We'll list the dates and the times.
And we'll go do a taste test.
We
and let
will
you
do
know.
a taste
I'll
test.
happily
We'll
taste
have to
test.
do that for you while you'll be in uniform.
We could have done it right
We could have done it live. We'll post on our TikTok our taste test.
Yes,
there you
that'd
go.
be great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You know, everything that's going on is through Ding Darling Wildlife Society for the most part. They have an awesome electronic newsletter. Why am I
Everybody
blanking?
needs to sign up.
Everybody needs to sign up through their website.
And how do they do that? Through the
Ding Darling Wildlife
Life
Society.
Society.
Yes, you can always contact them.
Right.
But it's Ding on the Wing.
Yes,
Like
that's the name of the
birds,
web.
wings.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you go to their website, dingdarlingsociety.org, Ding on the Wing, just search Ding on the Wing. You stick your email in there. You can always unsubscribe. But I am telling you, everything is on there. That's how I keep my life in order. That's how I remember.
We
cool new
subscribe
things
to it,
happening.
so make
We
sure you
do.
do.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's full of
It's
good
free.
information.
It is.
It is.
Information.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love getting it.
And even after the beer, we've got our Project Refuge happening.
Yes.
Ooh.
So this was a trash and fashion show.
I was there last year.
It
Well,
is
no,
Oh,
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was the last event before we shut down with COVID. It was the next day we shut
Right.
down.
Yeah.
And so all of the cool pieces, I should have brought one.
Yeah.
All of the
put
cool
'em up.
pieces are in the visitor center, waiting for the visitor center to open up. But what it is, it's just like Project Runway.
Mm-hmm.
People watch the show. It's Project Refuge. So it's taking things that might be thrown away or recycled and turning it into fashion. My mother and daughter made one. Anybody can contribute. It's fun. And then you're in a runway show, which is actually
Yes.
really
I think
fun.
our daughter McKenna was talking about
Yes,
entering. We're
entering.
putting you on the spot, McKenna. You need to
McKenna,
get.
yeah.
I think she's watching the live, so
If
she
she's
needs
watching
to,
live,
I think,
McKenna Adams,
Great.
you need to get a dress together
Yeah.
for this.
Yes.
And we were at the show. It was incredible, the stuff that people put together. I couldn't
Yes.
believe it.
I mean, oh my gosh, water bottles, things that you were just like, I would wear that maybe. That looks like a project.
Yeah, I think so
Things you're
too.
just like looking at. Oh,
Chip
that's
packets.
origami.
Just there was a
Yes.
summer dress made out of chip packets.
That was
there
my daughter's.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
From
yeah.
Tanglewood. She collected the trash from
Right.
the kids, cleaned it out in my garage. My mother then sewed it all together, you know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
just to look at. Oh my goodness, none of this is recyclable. Oh my goodness, this is what our children are eating.
Yeah.
I said to her, can you get some, I don't know, apple packets? And so we did a strip of apple packets just to feel good about ourselves.
Right.
But yeah, there was, oh my gosh, Amazon dresses, wine corks. I was like, who drank all those wines?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Wine
there was bridal dresses. There was
Yeah,
long
yeah.
trains.
Everything,
There was
yeah.
People can do whatever they want. More creative, the better. It is judged. It's for fun.
Right.
And
And
oh
if
my
you
gosh.
don't want to make something, you can actually come to the show too.
Yeah, so you can buy tickets. That'll
Right.
all be through the Ding Darling Wildlife Society. That's why you should subscribe to Ding on the
know all about
Wing
it.
so
Yep.
you know what's going on.
It's a luncheon.
And it is March 31st.
Gotcha.
And it's going to
Okay.
be at the community house.
Okay.
So I have a
okay.
lot of people. It'll be a fun runway show. I know I'm going to have one daughter that's modeling something and one daughter that's participating again. So we're
Okay,
putting another
cool.
piece on.
Perfect.
So-
Cool,
So,
cool,
and there's
cool.
still
Yes.
room for
So-
people who still need
McKenna-
some
McKenna
designers
Adams.
Yeah.
or anybody else. out there.
And I think it was the whole crew at Spoondrift
Spoondrift.
Island Bowls. They were
Thinking about-
Malia and everybody. So
Yeah.
it's on
We
you
love
guys.
that place.
On
We
you
need
guys.
some poke
Yeah, we do
bowls
too.
design.
Yeah. Awesome. So
Awesome.
Max, have you got anything for us back there?
I do.
Okay.
I have some trivia.
Are
Okay.
you ready for trivia,
Does everyone
Tony?
have
Trivia.
a sheet of paper for
So,
Yes.
some trivia?
It's got
Yes.
a reference book.
There's
Right,
no,
yeah,
it's
you
no
got
Every
competition,
Sanibel
just for
answer in
fun.
there.
What is going on here?
So we
I'm
on,
nervous.
on our podcast we always do Max's trivia session.
Okay.
So
The last thing
I
we do.
think I normally win on everything.
That's
Oh my
not true.
gosh, this
No.
is-
So watch
Okay.
what you write because Laurie's got a history of
Okay, all right. I'm
copying.
writing my stuff.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Tony, I
okay.
might need your help on the answer on this one.
Great.
So This question, I looked everywhere for the answer, and every single website had a different answer.
Well, how can you have a trivia question without the answer?
I will be the tie.
Okay.
I'm going to give you
I might be wrong.
the range of answers I found will be a correct answer. I'll let you know.
All right, we'll go with that.
Sanibel has a land area of 33.21 square miles. What is Ding Darling's land area?
So we're needing in square miles.
In square miles.
Oh my gosh, I know it in acres.
Put it in acres. I know the range of acres I saw too.
Put it
so
in acres.
yeah, you can put it in acres if you want.
Miles.
I
We
mean-
talk acres.
Okay.
We're like,
all right,
So
write
we
it down, Tony. 'cause
So
we're
we're
gonna-
favouring our guest here and switching the metrics to acres. Okay, I get it, Tony.
You can put it however you want. If you're in the range, you got
I
it.
know within 3 acres. Let me go. Okay.
Within 3, okay.
Okay. How many? Okay. Square. How many? All right. I have no idea.
You've got a range because the internet doesn't know.
So is this, and this is just Ding Darling, because we have 4 other refuges that we maintain. Now we're actually
true.
complexed into 6.
Right.
Yeah,
Seven.
this was.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is.
Ding Darling only.
Yeah.
Okay.
The entire complex of Ding Darling.
All right.
Oh,
It's
the whole
not-
entire complex, which is 5 refuges.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Listen, we'll give you both of the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Write it down. It's not official.
This is-
You write it.
Yeah, you got to write the
no, I
answer.
was like,
Just don't let my
right,
mom
no.
see because she's known to be cheating. Video evidence, we have it.
Okay, got it. I didn't know I was.
All right.
Nick, are you still writing?
Yeah, I'm modifying my question.
Answer.
Well,
6,212 acres.
Oh my gosh. I put 103.
that is wrong.
So it's 6,400 acres is Ding Darling, and then the complex is just over 7,000 when we add in the other. We've got islands that we maintain. We burn, we
Right.
maintain them, and so
And it's Tony.
I'm going
right?
to say she's right.
So can we go? Do I get a point for that too? I mean, that was close.
He's
Come
I
on.
close.
saw a range of 6,000 to 8,000 acres.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right,
different
I'm in.
answers. And you're in the range. You're in the range.
Awesome. Okay.
103?
No,
I think you're way off with that.
I think I get negative
Bailey
points.
Tract is 100.
Okay, well that's
That's
what
what
I
she
was
was saying,
thinking.
the Bailey
Okay.
Tract.
All right, -1 for me.
Okay.
All right. Tony, I think you're going to get this one as well. Mom, I think you're also going to get this one.
Okay.
Dad, you may not.
Okay. I might prove you wrong. There.
Challenges are on.
J.N. Ding Darling was named after the famous cartoonist. The N in J.N. in his name mirrors the name of his birthplace.
Got it.
What is it?
I hope I would get that.
I think
Yeah,
so.
seriously.
I think I said it last week when I was talking to you guys at the chamber luncheon, but I could be wrong.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
So we-
I know.
Our attention span, they often forget answers that were answered earlier in the episode. So
All right.
don't ask them to remember last week.
What, so it's Jeremiah's Nantucket.
That's your final answer.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to not only not give you this point, I'm taking away your last point as well for that one.
Uh-oh, now you're 0.
Oh, I did. It's JN, isn't it? So Nantucket.
it's-
I went for. She said it's for a place, Nantucket.
Okay.
Mom,
Go ahead,
what-
Tony. What'd you got?
What?
Do,
Go ahead, Tony.
so it is Norwood, after Norwood, Michigan.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Oh, Norwood, she
Yay!
gets it.
No,
Whoa, what did she put?
Question that. Look, she won't let me see it. Come on,
Yes, Norwood is
Norwood,
his middle
Michigan.
name.
And
named
his
after
birthplace.
Norwood. Yes.
I didn't notice that until I looked
Norwood,
it up
what
for
did
the
you have on
question.
the end there, Lloyd?
Norwood. Did you
He
put the wrong
worked
state?
in Iowa,
Yeah,
didn't
so
he?
people really think when
He's
they think of
from
Ding
Iowa.
Darling, they think of Iowa because he spent most of his time in Des Moines, Iowa,
Right.
as
The
cartoonist.
Right.
Yeah. So she got it right.
Right.
Yeah,
I put
no.
Norwood, Iowa. I was trying to be extra.
Norwood,
so
All right.
it was just the, okay.
We have a 2-1-1 lead for Tony. So,
Okay.
final question.
Surprise.
What percent of Sanibel is dedicated to conservation land?
Ooh.
This is always a tricky one.
Where
When
did you put Jeremiah?
No,
Nantucket.
Nantucket.
I was
Oh,
just. I was
Nantucket.
giving extra. JN.
Oh,
JN.
and I
JN.
see what you're saying. I didn't
I'm
get
confused.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, this percentage is a tough
It's
one. 'cause
fluid. Do you
people,
think?
I mean, I've almost seen people get in fights over this percentage.
All right. Well,
Here we go.
whoever wrote this
Squaring up.
whoever wrote this question is in trouble, and it wasn't me.
I put 62%.
I got 42.
It is over 70%.
No way.
Really?
Over 70% of the island. What is the number you actually found, Matt?
I found 67.
No, it is over 70%.
Really, over 70%? I don't know who wrote the answer to this question.
It's like crazy.
But I think Toni's right. So a 3-1-1 lead to Toni. She wins.
Ring the
I
bell,
don't lose
Toni.
my job.
Yay.
My job.
Which I mean, is that incredible that
It's incredible.
70% is conservation?
It is because of people like you that have come here and enjoyed it and took care of it, raised your family here. It is because of visitors that come back. I mean, there is nothing like Sanibel and Captiva Islands. Nothing.
Yeah.
You see it written everywhere after someone experiences it. I have a picture of my daughters finding their first shell. Like everybody, the Sanibel stoop happens, you know.
Yeah.
It's just the feeling. Driving across the causeway. I unfortunately live off island, but driving across the causeway every morning, it's just this,
yeah, it's beautiful.
You know you're home. It's a great place.
Yeah.
People care.
They do.
Yeah.
And Ding's legacy lives on through so many people.
Yes.
It's just great.
Jay Norwood.
From Norwood, Michigan.
Norwood.
So was his name? Was his first name was Jay?
Yeah,
J-A-Y.
J-A-Y.
Yeah, not
okay.
Jeremiah.
I can see how now there could be a confusion. Okay, so
So I know you talked about your socials. Where can everybody see you? Everything you're doing? Do you have Facebook, Instagram?
So yes, we have Facebook through the government, but the friends group's able to have Instagram also. They're starting TikTok.
Oh.
Some fun stuff.
Very
yes.
cool.
They get to be more creative.
Yeah.
But I mean, Fish and Wildlife Service does have an Instagram and a YouTube channel. Friends Group has a YouTube channel.
Okay.
We're posting videos there. So, just Google Ding and
Right. It'll
there's
turn
going to
up.
be a buffet of things to see.
Awesome.
Hopefully it's accurate numbers, right, Max?
yeah,
That's right.
she's going to be.
I know my numbers.
I'm changing all the numbers to over 70%.
I don't know who wrote all those answers.
Right.
Embarrassing.
Is there anything else we missed? I know you had a lot of.
No, I mean, those just, it continues. We want people to come out, enjoy.
Sign up for the Ding on the Wing,
You're going
and
to
you will
find
know.
out recent sightings, but call. Like, if you've got questions, show up. We're there.
Yeah.
Attend a free program. Why not? Take
Right.
care of yourselves. Get out into nature. Look forward to the Wellness Week. This whole idea of wellness is at the forefront and mindfulness. And we're having backing by medical doctors where it's proven that you can, anxiety and blood pressure and just overall fitness and health and for our minds, it can all come together when you're out in nature. So
Do it.
I
Do
agree.
it. I know
Challenge
how
people to
relaxed
get
I
out
feel
and
when I go
enjoy.
there.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
Well,
Thanks, guys.
awesome. Thank you so much for
Yay,
spending your
thank
time
you.
with us. And it was great having you on.
Thanks.
And thanks very much. Cheers, Max.
sponsors?
Quick
quick message
message
to our supporters.
sponsors and supporters. Bailey's General Store, 3 Crafty Ladies, Spoondrift Island Bowls, GatorBites Tail and Ale, and new to the lineup is Suncatchers Dream, which is a store at the end of
Tarpon Bay.
Periwinkle in the middle of Tarpon Bay. But thanks for joining us, guys. Have a good one.
Awesome. Thanks,
you.
Toni.
Thank you.
Where's our music?